Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're following this page because you like to look at the children's illustrations or the prophetic art or the prophetic drawings I do or the encouraging words or the picture books, this is actually about furniture, so this may or may not be relevant to you. It may if you end up wanting to restore something with a drawer in it or a little jewelry box that is flocked, because that's the tip I've got for today. For those who don't know me, in case this gets shared somewhere, my name is Kaylin West and my Facebook page is Playfessional EDU. I'm a Melbourne artist from Australia and I'm an illustrator artist, and I upcycle and beautify furniture. Today I want to share with you something I'm working on at the moment and often comes across my studio when I'm doing anything with drawers that are flocked. Most people who do furniture will probably pain at the thought of doing chairs are usually the thing we don't like doing the most. Very repetitious, fiddly job. But I think for me, the worst thing for me is flocked drawers. Well, they were for a period of time, but I found something that I like using that makes it a lot easier. And I'm just going to show you. Usually they're this really grassy green colour. Sometimes they're brown flock. It's like those drawers that are lined with like a felt. That's what I'm referring to. So think of a lot of jewelry boxes are lined with felt and things like that. So it can be painted. You don't have to fight with trying to get it off, and you know, sometimes there's material that's very, very thick and it's like a laminate, flocked laminate that you can lift off with a hairdryer, but sometimes it's like glued onto the wood, and that's not so easy to deal with. So the good news is it can look amazing. Like you can totally transform it so it looks really dowdy at first, and then you can transform it so it looks really beautiful. So I've got one here that I've been working on. I've been working on a sideboard that needed the drawers finished. I've done the first coat so I can show you the first coat on it to see the dramatic difference. I have taken some photos, so I'm going to do an article on my website, on my blog. That's what I thought this morning. Oh, that would be a really good thing to share to help people step through how to paint flocked drawers. So when you see the before photos of this, when I put that article up, there's a big difference because there was a bit of paint on the outside of the drawers and it was quite messy, and it wasn't one of those situations where I sandbag the drawers and do, you know, the stencil straight on the wood or anything like that. So the whole sides have been painted as well, and so the before looks so much neater. But this is the drawer. So this is the sides. You can see underneath. I'm going to paint underneath. See how dirty, like rotty it is underneath. So the underneath is going to be done as well. I do all the way around where possible. So this is the sides, and see inside the drawers. Now that was that horrible patchy green colour, and now it's pretty much all black. That's the first coat, and what I'm using is liquid carbon, which is the black in the L'Essentials products. Now I personally, when I talk about these products, I talk about my experience with the product, okay? So not necessarily the run sheet on it, but my experience with the product. The black liquid carbon is promoted kind of as a separate product from their mineral paint range, kind of. And I can see why, because it's almost like a thick ink. It's very highly pigmented. So if you get it on something, you need to get it off really quickly because it's very highly pigmented, and so it stains up really well, really easily without thickness. So it's quite fluid, and so you don't have really thick paint that you're building up, and it's really great for situations where you don't have a lot of movement. So say when you're doing drawers and you don't want to sand too much back to make the drawer slide really well, but you need some colour there, this is excellent for that. So it's almost like using a stain on it, but it's more opaque. So it's you know, it really covers really well without the thickness of paint so much. So I love it. Like it's very handy for a lot of things outside just painting black, and it's a very black. So that's what I've used, and I've just used one coat, and as you can see, it's covered that green felt really well. When I look up close, and I don't know if you guys can see it, there's tiny little patches where I've missed. So it's a little bit difficult when you're doing it, it's all shiny. And I mean, something like this, you know, the light's kind of, you've got to get the light in there to do it properly and to see. But when it dries back, you can kind of see where you've missed. But I haven't, like, it's going to take me very little time to go back in and touch up where it's missed, and that draw's done. And normally that would be a massive process. So that's what I've found is really good for flocked drawers. So if you've got any jewelry boxes that are horrible colour and you'd rather a black in it, and it just looks very elegant inside. The deep colours always look elegant inside. You know, I'm doing a dressing table, finishing off a dressing table at the moment. I've just finished off a dressing table, and I've chosen dark colour. I've chosen really deep blues because the dark colours look, I mean, the pastels look nice in there too, depending on the piece. But for the more sophisticated looking, you know, the more mature looking pieces, the dark looks really good inside. So that's, and I'll show you the brush that I use. So I've just used, it's not a brand, and I don't sell them or anything. So it's just I don't even know where I've had it. I bought it from. I bought it years ago. It's been in my painting arsenal. So it's at the moment I've got it wrapped in plastic. See that thing behind me? That's my big plastic wrap thing. Which there's another video that I painted that up from ply. It's ply base, and decorated on the side with a stencil. So this is the brush, and it's still got paint in it because I was doing something last night. So it's still got the liquid carbon in it, and I just wrap it in plastic and so I can use it the next day. So I do clean you can see my brushes, I do clean the filberts out really well, but the brush kind of tends to get a bit dirty. The paint really does dry on there very quickly and is inclined to stay, which is what you want for your furniture anyhow. So yeah, so that's what I've used, but a very soft brush, but not overly soft. So I was able to sort of, you know, really load up the brush and just push it in. And I didn't spray it first with any water or anything. I put it straight on because the paint isn't, like I said, it's very fluid, very highly pigmented. It absorbs in, the colour goes in. I have tried it with spraying first and that, and I find you end up having to do a second coat because it dilutes it. You know, the water tends to dilute it and defeat the purpose. It feels a bit rougher than the felt was before, but it's like a firm felt finish in the end that can still kind of be a bit softer than if you were putting your cutlery in there on straight wood. I mean, if you end up using it for cutlery. So that's what I did for this, and now I can finish them off really quickly. I'll finish off all the sides and that with a soapstone wax, so it slides really nice in the drawer and it seals it up. And so that's my tip for the day, and I have done it live, yay, because it has been a long time. So I've been busy doing lives and so forth in my painting group where we're transforming a beautiful big sideboard, and I'm doing all this elaborate artwork on it, so it's really taking a lot of my time, as well as my furniture jobs, as well as the books I'm working on. So I hope you guys have a great day. I hope that was helpful for you. If it is, please share it. Please give me an indication you've watched it. Yeah, be blessed. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.